morning.
Good morning. I'm tired today. You tired too?
Yes. So, like I was mentioning before, we were having a hard time in our relationship. And we came to the point that he rented an Airbnb. Remember when we said that in the video that we did before? So, last night I continue my insisting, so I say, insisting him that I wanted to know the place. He continued telling me it's not something that you want to see. It's not something that you want to be in. I'm like, so I imagine the worst, right? And anyway, I want to go there. You know how women are. So I wanted to go there and we went there. So the place is not bad. I mean, he had anything he needs. But then when I walk in the room and I saw all that clothes that he got in there, it makes me like this. And it hurts my feelings. And I felt so sad and mad and jealous and a whole bunch of emotions, but I didn't show any of it because I think at this process that we are into, I don't think we need any fights. We need more comprehending,
Compassion?
compassion, and understanding. So I knew that we were having a hard time. And I knew why he was there. So I just shut it all up. But this morning, I shared with him that it was very painful for me to see all his clothes. And he even had a cooler with food in it. I'm like, damn, man, how many days were you here? And he said, I was going to be here for 11 nights. I'm like, no. I mean, that's something that really hurt my feelings when he decided to.
I was going to be there for long enough for her to. She was talking about relocating, So I made plans to, if need be, to be there long enough so that we could figure that out, right? So what is that? How does that make you feel? Just me talking about it now. I just noticed your energy just changed just from me mentioning that. So.
Well, it makes me feel like it went through my head and I didn't like the feeling that you were getting ready for me to leave.
Or it seemed like when you felt like when I'm ready to leave because I made arrangements, right?
Yes, like he was ready to move on and I didn't like that.
Why?
Because it hurts. I mean, you've been with me 7 years. It's gonna be really hard. And the part that I'm gonna be away from you, I don't know. I still don't look at it like a possibility right now.
So, but why? What part of you that makes you feel like it's not a possibility or like it hurts or?
Well, because it's like we put things in our heads, and unfortunately, we create a future ahead of us, including our people, not thinking that everything can change in a blink of an eye. And this is what I did with this one. We have this family. Our children are beautiful together. I don't know if you guys know, he have 3 and I have 2, and then the combination is 5. And they get along really good. And the combination of our family is amazing. And the fact that it's kind of me being selfish talking. It's kind of my dream come true because I wanted to have 5 kids. And now I have them. And I have this man. I mean, it was what I was dreaming since I was like 14 years old. A gringo with green eyes, white, and super passionate. So that was something that I was looking forward to have when when I grew up. And I mean, you collect so much that you get it, right? But now, when I saw him getting ready to move on, my self-image came out and said, "Hey, your dream is being this Spanish." And it was like a slap in my face and wake up and get your shit together, pretty much. Yeah.
So
You're very
you
quiet.
thought
You're very quiet today. We're tired. I went to get him at the Airbnb and we slept there and it was so like, no.
it's yeah, we didn't get the best night's sleep last night. So, but you know, I was reading something yesterday about feelings and love and vulnerability, and I don't know. I don't think I shared it with you last night, but
You were very quiet last night too.
men, you let your woman do most of the talking. I think that's probably a good thing to keep in mind. But last night or yesterday, I was reading something about vulnerability, and throughout my life, I've always felt like vulnerability is a weakness from a man's perspective, and from being a strong and leader, and all these things that have been taught to me or ingrained in me from a young age is. You know, my father's very quiet, keeps to himself. He's not a very open or emotional guy, and what I've learned about myself is that vision of not being vulnerable, or not being comfortable with being vulnerable or sharing feelings or emotions causes a lot of issues with us at times, you know, and causes me not to open up with you, I guess, or make you feel like we're connected, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I realized is that it's okay, and it's part. And you know, the book I was reading was talking about. It's called Daring Greatly by Brene Brown, and it talks about making sure that you realize that vulnerability is actually the same thing as love in a lot of ways, because it makes you feel that you could be hurt, and it teaches you, even though you could be hurt, that you know, that's what love is about, is putting yourself out there, putting yourself out on and being vulnerable, and putting in this a place where you can be hurt, because you know, like in our situation, you know, us loving each other, even though we have fears that one day, you know, I'm gonna pack my bags and leave, or you're gonna pack your bags and leave, or someone's gonna be unfaithful, or whatever it may be, those fears, right? And in loving in a way that doesn't keep you from doing that, you know, not being scared, right? And I've been listening to a lot of things about Jesus and God and faith, and that's helping me through this time as well, because it helps me to just relate to God's love and Jesus's love, and you know, that pure and powerful love between a parent and a child, and relating it to my love for you, you know, because I feel like that's important. So something I'm working on is being more open and vulnerable to stuff, and not being so guarded as your partner.
What's God?
Guarded, like building walls, like we talked about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but the things that I liked about what's happened recently is she's, you know, one of the things that changed for us over the last couple of weeks here is that she stopped drinking, and the alcohol, I think, was a big factor in our relationship issues. And after she got home recently, she hasn't, what now?
I
we're
went to
7
rehab. Okay.
So how many days now are we?
A week.
7 days almost, right? At the end of the day, 7 days.
No, 7 days today.
Right.
Because last Saturday I stopped drinking.
Yeah. So, and that's huge for me, because it's been years since I've been with you for more than probably 2 or 3 days when you were completely you,
Enjoying.
without the influence of a substance that makes you act and feel differently than you are naturally. So it made me open my eyes to like, wow, this is someone that's totally new, and it made me look forward to meeting you again. And, because I remember the woman
The one with chicks.
I remember the woman I connected with so well, right? So that's really what got me to reconsider about, like, you know, what I was gonna do, because yeah, I was in a position where I was ready to let go, and that's something that I've been struggling with, just not with her, but even on processions and everything else. So one of the big things that I'm working through is having the ability to let go of things if they're not right for me, right? If they're not a good fit, and you know, whether that's be relationships, people, whatever it is, just possessions in general. So I don't know. I realize that's something that's big for me, because
I know that's big for you.
we have a garage full of stuff that I'm trying to get rid of, right?
Guys, I take the stuff out and he brings the back in. Can you believe that? But yes, that's something that we're talking about him, and getting him back in the house, and how it hurt my feelings, and how alcohol is changing everything really quick. The wall still there. I'm not saying that everything is like butterflies in pink colors, but this
Why
is
pink colors?
that's what people say. Okay, purple or rainbow and unicorn.
Pink colors.
But I do think that the wall's still there. I mean, the connection is still working. We're still not that connected, because it was going to be a real mutual decision. When I was in rehab, I realized that I deserve something better, I guess. And I did put a lot of things in place. So we did a lot of thinking, and this trying new things in this relationship, trying to work it out. It's gonna be a challenge. I know it's going to be. We're gonna have to lower the wall slowly, because you cannot drop that wall in one day. That's something that you cannot really do. But it's gonna be something slowly work, and the compromising and understanding and compassion. That's something that I learned when I was away in rehab. Being compassionate, having compassion for others, and your partner is the best one to have compassion to, because it's the person that you sleep with. It's the person that is real next to you, and they need you as much as you need them. They're having the same emotion as you do. When it comes to a relationship, it's all the same. It's nothing different. If you think that he's judging you, maybe he feels that you're judging him, and it's like a wall that people put to protect themselves in situations like this one, like the wall we created for, I didn't want to be judged by him. I felt like every time he looked at me, he would criticize me, so I would hide from him or try to avoid him or go somewhere else, not to see him. Excuse me, coffee. And I would do those things, and like not, I didn't want to see him. I felt uncomfortable, and his energy was uncomfortable for me. And I built a wall, like, I don't want nothing to do with that guy, but like, I didn't even want to see him walking around the house, period. So that's something that is a challenge, like I mentioned before. It's gonna be a challenge. Challenge because I know personally, and he knows too, that we can get something better. But I don't think we're ready to give up yet. Well, guys, talk to you later. I'm making breakfast. Bye.